Hey guys, welcome back to the Fool Show. Of course, I am Fool Show. Just wanted to give you my thoughts after Michigan's 87-79 victory over the Wisconsin Badgers today. Michigan was certainly in need of this game. It was quite necessary to get this win because, Wisconsin already had defeated Michigan and Wisconsin are already on the bubble, kind of close. Wisconsin's last four in. Michigan is like the last four out, or first four out, you would say probably. So Michigan really needed this win so you could at least say we were even versus Wisconsin in the regular season, 1-1, right? This game was kind of like what it was in Wisconsin, right? Started off kind of quick. It was 10-9 at the first time out. And then Wisconsin went on a nice spurt. They got up 17-9. And you just wondered what was going to happen in this game. And in the first half, Michigan ended up going the rest of the half on a 26-10 run, something like that, and just really did excellent. And they really limited Wisconsin to one shot. I believe they had one field goal over the last 8 minutes of the first half. Michigan built the lead up 35. It was 35 to. They led by 8 at half. It was 11, but Wisconsin had a 3 right at half. Hunter Dickinson did really well. He got fired up and got a nice little 8-point run himself. He had 12 points. Kobe Bufkin, I believe, had 10 points in the first half. So Michigan was really led by the two-headed monster there. They led by 8. The second half, though, that's where things kind of got a little, interesting to begin. Michigan kept holding the lead 7, 8 points after the first 8 minutes or so. And at that point, though, Wisconsin went on a nice little spurt, a 3, a 2. Trying to say his name right. Essegian just went off in the second half. I believe he had 16 points in the second half, maybe 17. He had over 20 for the whole game. And it really made me wonder. This kid grew up in Michigan, as a Michigan fan. 2 hours, they said, from Michigan, Ann Arbor. And it's did Michigan offer this kid at all? Because in the 2 games against Michigan, he's got over 20 points in each game. It's oh man, it seems like exactly the kind of player Michigan really needed. Now, don't get me wrong, we had Caleb Houston and Moussa Diabate coming in. You had 5 stars, so it's maybe this kid would be kind of, left behind. Michigan was in a scholarship crunch, but it just seems like this is really one of those players Michigan missed the boat on. They really should have tried to get this. This is the perfect player that's just going to haunt Michigan every time they play him, at least so far this year. So he would just come down and get basket after basket after basket, and Michigan started losing their lead, and turnovers. They had 12 turnovers for the game. I believe they had 4 in the first half, so 8 in the second half. And that really were terrible turnovers, terrible time, back-to-back turnovers and such. And Wisconsin got the lead. They, in fact, turned those turnovers into 17 points. Michigan only got 7 points off of Wisconsin's 8 turnovers, so plus 10 points there for Wisconsin. So the turnovers were a big factor. Another big factor in the second half, which allowed Wisconsin to come back, was Michigan went really cold from 3. I think there were 2 of 9 in the second half last time I really looked at that. Obviously, we know they hit the super important one at the end there. Michigan had some plays, had some shots, and it was a tight game, back and forth. Wisconsin would get a shot from Essegian, or maybe it would have been Klesment hitting a shot. And when Klesment hit that bank 3, with the clock almost running out, I'm just that's like the kiss of death. If you remember Mike and Mike in the morning, he would offer his KOD, right? He would pick a team to win the tournament, and they would lose the first round, right? So when Klesment hit that bank 3 late in the shot clock, I'm that's the kiss of death. So that's the sign Michigan's going to lose this game. Come back down, and who gets, Michigan gets a chance to take the lead. Kobe Bufkin's going in for a layup. Who gets the block? Klesment, right? And who gets the block on the last Kobe Bufkin shot in regulation? Klesment. It's this guy's got himself a letter. Whatever, some super award from Wisconsin. Now here's a question. It just bugs me, refs and all this. When you block a shot, but your foul through the arm hits the player, Kobe, in the head, should that still be a foul? Well, people say, well, he didn't have the ball, right? Or he hit the ball first, right? Okay. Then you have it other times where you hold a player who's trying to run from you. Well, he doesn't have the ball, so why is that a foul? Because at the end of games, right, when you're doing the intentional fouling thing, they have to have the ball to get the foul on. Like, if you foul them after they don't have the ball, it's not a foul. I don't know where this unwritten rule really came from. But the refs didn't call the foul when Kobe gets hit in the head. And Kobe gets the nice three-pointer blocked, and it sets up the play. Hunter Dickinson gets a ball from T-Will, fights off an Indiana defender for it, turns around, takes, I think, maybe one dribble. He had about 3 seconds, and just heaves up a three, and boom, game tied. So it brings up to the question, just like shocked. I mean, I saw 2 of those yesterday. I have Arizona State, Florida State, Miami. And the color analyst was saying this, should you foul when you're up by 3 to force, just 2 free throws? And I would say yes. I remember when Michigan had this, they were the number 1 team in the country, probably when they had, Burke and, Glenn Robinson III and such. They were number 1 team in the country. They went to Wisconsin, and they were up by 3, and Beeline did not foul, and Wisconsin came down and just drained the game, tying 3-1 in overtime. So, what do you guys think? Should the coach intentionally foul there, like the analyst was saying, at half court, right? And before they can get in a real three-point shooting opportunity, right? So if you foul them, they're not going to heave up a ball, and the refs aren't going to give them 3 free throws. I think that's the right strategy, and I agree with that analyst. But what do you guys think? I mean, obviously today they didn't do it, and Michigan tied it, and it happened yesterday a couple times. And in the Iowa-Michigan State game, Michigan State didn't foul and let them come down and hit the game-tying 3. So there seems to be some credence that you should foul there instead of letting them shoot the game-tying 3, even attempting it. Excuse me. But Michigan, they got the 3 from Hunter, and pandemonium, right? And the momentum really came over. All of a sudden, Hunter, who was tired, and Kobe, who was weary and stuff, all of a sudden they got whatever. They got more juice. I'll just say it that way because I'm not saying the word right. And they just were coming down and getting shots, and I think they only missed 1 field goal attempt in overtime, I should say. And I knew they were going to get the win because Indiana was having to just get free throws. And free throws. They were not hitting any of their field goals, and Michigan built the lead out. And then Wisconsin got a couple layups, right? But Michigan kept hitting their free throws. In overtime, Michigan went 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Clutch free throw shooting. In fact, for the whole game, 22 of 26 from the free throw line. Threes weren't that great. 7 of 21, 33%. And twos, though, overall for the game, they shot 49% from the field. This is a game Michigan needed, and it was so important that they got it, and so clutch and so lucky that went in. But you could say that Klesmet 3, that bank shot, was luck too. So sometimes the basketball gods even things out like that, and this day it happened. Oh, again, you had Doug, who had, let me look at the stats. Doug had 20 points. Kobe set a new game high, career high for him, 28 points. Hunter had a double-double, 23 and 10. But, man, that was about it. It was like those 3 guys, because Baker gave you 9, but he was 2 of 8 shooting. Chatter gave you 0 points. Reed gave you, I think, 5. And T-Will gave you, like, 5. Man, I mean, if I'm a defense, I'm letting T-Will shoot threes all day long. He just cannot hit a 3. And it is what it is. It's Michigan's really in a tough spot because you don't have anyone who can actually do anything offensively outside of Reed. And sometimes it's difficult. I mean, off the bench. And sometimes it's difficult because it's hard to have Hunter and Reed and the full floor at the same time, the spacing and all that. But Chatter can't be consistent, especially on the defensive side. He'll grab some rebounds, but he's not a good offensive player. And so it's just kind of tough. I don't know what Juwan Howard can do. Obviously nothing this year. But I think you just got to play Reed more. But then you got to have him to spell Hunter. So it's a weird balance. But, hey, Michigan gets the win. 87-79 in overtime. They really needed this game. And when it really mattered, Kobe stepped up. And obviously Hunter hit the 3, the miracle kind of shot at the end. Not a true miracle. I mean, it had a good chance to go in. And Doug, man, he really did great again. Hit all his free throws, limited turnovers. Just hard to believe he's a freshman when you see how good he can play. Hey, just my thoughts. If you have any comments, put them in the box below. Again, would you, as if you were a coach, are you going to foul intentionally when you're up by 3? Or are you just going to let it play out and, like, take your chances? What do you guys think? Let me know in the box below. Hey, guys, thanks so much for watching. Great Michigan win in the end. Definitely need it. Now going on the road to Illinois and to Indiana. And we'll see if those are late night games. If they are, I can't do videos. I work early. So sorry about that. I missed the game versus Rutgers. Just 8:30 starts. It's too late, man. It just doesn't work for me. But it is what it is. Everyone's got to work, Hey, thanks so much for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button. I do appreciate that. And until I see you guys next time, as always, go Blue.